Welcome to another Subconscious Saturday. In today's topic, we're going to be talking about something that arises when the warm weather comes around, which we see a lot of dandelions. So, with this picture, I thought it would be fun to do a little something that's a little abstract, and I'll go into that more later as you see more of the coloring of this picture. So, what does it mean if you dream about a dandelion? Interestingly enough, most of the symbols behind a dandelion are positive. Now granted, every dream symbol does have the positive and the negative side when you do dream of anything, based on your personal relationship with said object or whatever it is that you're experiencing, as well as whatever it is that you're doing with the object. Now, generally speaking, when we are young and we're first introduced to dandelions, our parents really don't tell us that they're bad. Our first instinct really is to go up to a dandelion that's full of those seeds, that giant poofy seed head, and you just have this itch. Just want to go over to that dandelion head and you want to blow and make a wish. So because of the positive association, there's a lot of positive symbols that come with the dandelion in a dream. So if you do see a few dandelions or a meadow of dandelions, it typically means youth, nostalgia, lightheartedness, even getting something lifted off of you that may have been something negative, and all of a sudden that weight is lifted off your shoulders, quite literally like a dandelion seed wafting into the wind. So, little interesting something about that is the name dandelion actually comes from the French word Dandelion, which means lion's tooth, and it gets that name because of the serrated, jagged, tooth-like leaves that the dandelion has. And that kind of goes along with my picture too, as where it's not a dandelion or a lion's tooth, I kind of pictured it almost as if it was claws that were coming from the dandelion in my picture. And this was actually something that I did with my friend Knotted Dragon, who started a weekly art challenge called the Coffee Collab. And that's where we go to like a Starbucks or like a coffee shop and we all draw together with a bunch of friends. She typically comes up with, some kind of artist prompt, and that particular week we were doing nature combined with animals. So I decided to do a literal dandelion, whereas she went with a tree frog. We had another friend of ours that also did a dandelion as well as a cactus turtle, and all of the results were super adorable. When I was drawing the picture, I was thinking about what would be a really funny situation with a dandelion. Like, what would annoy a dandelion? I was thinking of cats, like when you're spraying them with water, they don't really like it, and they don't really get hurt by it. And in the same way, I feel like when you're spraying weed killer on a dandelion, it really doesn't do anything. So I'm picturing a gardener going up to the dandelion, and the dandelion is simply just being annoyed by this weed spray rather than being threatened by it. Though you'll see in my picture that the dandelions in the background feel rather threatened by the presence of this weed killer. But I think they're going to survive, as dandelions are very tenacious like that. And on that topic of weed killer, that kind of goes towards some of the other symbols that come along with dandelions in a dream. Now, if you're a gardener and you see dandelions in your dream, everyone knows that if you're gardening and you see weeds in your garden, even if they're pretty and they have flowers, it's something you just do not want hanging around your garden or your grass. So you typically do not want that. And if you're dreaming about that, that might mean that you're either obsessing over something, or you feel like, something that you're trying to accomplish isn't quite done, or you're trying to get rid of something, and that would be more the symbolic nature of, if you're from the gardener's perspective, seeing the dandelion in the dream, versus a more positive symbol, which might mean youth or prosperity, feeling like a weight is lifted off your shoulders, and even just like a union of positive messages. Is like typically a dandelion like spreads all of its seeds all across, so it means like it's very fertile, it's generally very healthy, and that's another symbol that can arise when you're dreaming of the dandelion. So once again, everyone, hope you enjoyed my interpretation of the dandelion dream, as well as my picture, and as usual, everyone, look forward to more Subconscious Saturdays, and as well as now we have the coffee collab, so I think I'll be posting more of these either in a Subconscious Saturday video or even just like generally on my social media feed. So, stick around, stay tuned for seeing all of, those awesome pictures that Not a Dragon comes up with, as well as myself. And as usual, hope everyone has a good night and sleep well, everyone.